I'm just letting you know that I am recording you.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to avoid some legal snags.
Can you do that in Texas? I think you can just, there's some states where you can just record. You don't have to tell people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wild. Well, how does that work for like if you weren't in Texas?
Oh. Welcome to the legal podcast. I have no idea.
Is that where we're starting a cold open?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Brother Sister Show, where we talk about legalities and such.
Yeah. How to get out of sticky situations.
Legal snags.
Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, welcome. Let's get straight to it. Movies. We talk about movies. News. Movies. This week we're talking about her, but first, what's up? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I'm fine. I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I posted something on our story, but I'm working from mom's like work desk thing, so I'm surrounded by a bunch of crafts.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but yeah,
That's fun.
last weekend I was in Dallas. I live in
Oh,
Austin, so I've just been traveling to every major city in
oh
Texas.
yeah. Yeah, all I need is Houston. The how was the bar or the
Oh, yeah, so I
I
went
remember seeing
to
pictures, but
I forgot to post about it. I think I posted like the front of it, but I went to a Dunder Mifflin like The Office themed bar. This place it was in Dallas and it was called the Whippersnapper, but they named it Dunder Whipland for the night. But they're known for doing pop-up bars. And so like pop-up themed bars. I think they'd done like Game of Thrones, they did one for Family Guy, and then they did Dunder Mifflin. And it was really cool. I wish I would have taken more pictures. There was a lot of people though, so I
they
didn't
had the
want to
like
just like
did they have the banner that it is your birthday? This
yeah,
is
they
a
had
party.
that. I think they had It Is Your Birthday. They had those balloons that are like not even deflated or not even inflated. They had them like hanging. They had a bunch of paintings that looked like they commissioned somebody to do. They had just a bunch of stuff from the show. They had a Serenity by Jan. Like her candle. I wish they would have had candles. I guess they can't, but they had the label and then they had that sign where it says this man is a pervert. They just had yeah, they had a bunch of stuff. They had drink specials, they had food specials. The one that I remember was they had tater tots and they called it Scott's Tots. And then I had Oscar's lemonade and it was really good. It was one of those dangerous, I mean, you don't know yet, but one of those dangerous drinks that it tasted just like lemonade. I didn't taste any of the alcohol, which is
Oh,
dangerous. But
because then it all hit you.
yeah. But it was nice. It was really crowded. So that kind of sucked. So we were only in there for like we had like one drink. Maybe we danced a little bit because they were playing some good music. But it was fun. I liked it. I want to go. I don't know how often they do these themed bars, but I want to kind of keep track of this. I think I'm gonna follow them on Instagram so I can see like when they do it again. Because it's right by one of my friends where she lives. So yeah, that was a good time. Good weekend. It kind of was. It was annoying though, not going to Dallas, but because of the weather.
Oh yeah,
I
Texas has
think
been kind of wild.
yeah, the world is ending. But that's when I texted you because I didn't go on Friday like I was supposed to because it said the weather was supposed to be really bad in Austin and I didn't want to leave my cat alone. And so Sebastian and I stayed and of course it rained and hailed like for 20 minutes and then it was done. But when I texted you, I guess this can kind of transition into your movie talk and then I'll go, but I know you texted me or mom texted us or something. I knew that you were at in Cibolo watching 1917
hmm
and when like after you guys texted us that and I guess the movie started because I didn't get anything after that, I got a notification on my phone that there was a tornado warning in Cibolo. Because I don't know if people this is the weather corner, but there's a difference between a tornado watch and a warning. When it says tornado watch, it just means like, oh, there might be one, but we'll just keep an eye out. But a warning means that there's one touchdown and it's headed towards you. And so I
Oh,
was
I
like,
didn't even know
oh,
that.
they don't, yeah, and they don't even. I was like, oh shit, they don't even know they're in a fucking
You know, it's
movie theater,
funny.
just, and it's
It's
a loud
because
movie.
yeah, it's like bombs are going off and we don't even know. We think it's a part of the movie, but it's like the theater is actually getting like torn up.
I know I had like a vision of y'all just watching like, man, this is a really good sound. Everybody, there's like people crying outside and running and yelling.
No, it's funny because we walked out and I was like, yeah, Olivia said that there was like a tornado warning. And then we looked up outside, it was perfect. It was like a nice night.
Well, that's the thing too about
Yeah.
tornadoes. I'm not saying I probably didn't touch down wherever y'all were because I don't know. Cibolo seems small, but it's probably a little bit bigger. I don't know. Either way, whenever tornadoes happen, I don't know if you see videos of them, but when they pass through, it's fucking terrifying. But when they go away, that it's perfectly fine. It like rains
Yeah.
a little bit maybe, but so even if there was, I don't. There probably wasn't. It was probably just really bad weather, but y'all probably would have never noticed.
Um, we had a good time watching 1917. I like that movie. You could I don't know.
Just go into your movies and then I'll go into mine.
Okay. Yeah, well, so the first one was 1917. I don't have you seen this?
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I
I
want
won't give
to.
too much away, but just about the story. But I liked it. Best picture worthy? I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. It was a good movie. I enjoyed my time. I didn't really have any expectations going into it. That's why I think that's my thing. I don't want to go into any movie having any expectations because if I do, they're bound to be disappointed. But if I have none, I'm like, that was a pretty good movie, you know?
Yeah.
So 1917, that's a pretty good movie. Uh,
I did see one tweet about it. This might be a spoiler, but it was very funny where somebody said that they're like, yeah, the whole one take thing was cool, but the fact that that kid was like, yeah, my brother looks like me but a little bit taller and ended up
uh,
being Richard fucking Madden.
yeah, yeah, that part was really funny.
The gall.
That's a spoiler right there.
Oh, who cares? It's a spoiler
You haven't
that
even
his
seen it.
brother is hot. No.
I know he's like a. He
He's
does
like
not
a
look like me.
10 and the brother's like a 2.
Yeah, he looks exactly like me, just a little bit taller.
All right, sorry, go on.
Yeah, 1917. Uh, and then I think before that, I don't know if we talked about this, but I saw a Good Time
You said
on.
you wanted to see it.
Oh, that's right. And then I did. I'm a man of my word. I'm a boy of his word. I saw Good Time. Man, it's very similar to Uncut Gems in the fact that it doesn't stop. It just doesn't
Yeah.
stop. It never stops. And I like their main characters and the way, or the Safdie bros, and the way that they write. There's almost no redeeming quality of the main character, but you still like kind of want them to make the right decision, but they never do. I just
Yeah.
that's what makes it so interesting to me. Um, and I remember Dad said he watched it and he was like, "Wow, this is just way too intense."
Dad watched it with you or he watched it
No, he
separately?
he watched it separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that Good Time, and then most recently I saw Bad Boys for Life, which yet again I didn't have any expectations because I hate to admit it, but I've never seen any Bad Boys movie before. I've seen like clips, but I've never seen the other two. But this was like
I didn't know there was two.
I think
I
so.
thought there was one. No, there is two. I learned that recently and I was like, what?
Oh yeah, this was funny. This was a really funny movie. I would their dynamic. I mean, obviously Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are really funny, but just together they're hilarious. And yeah, I want to go watch the other ones. But you don't really have to know anything. I mean, they kind of tell you what you need to know, and you can kind of infer what like how the relationships have built. But yeah, it was funny. And then last night I saw Underwater, which another that was a not that good movie. No,
Oh, really?
probably wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Mm.
It just felt I just felt like I'd seen it before. It, there was one interesting part. Just w- the the sea or the oceans scare the hell out of me. Just
Same.
and that's like an interesting take on what could be down there because they're like 6 miles below sea level or something wild and just like when you see it or if you see it at the end it's just that'd be crazy. That'd be insane if that actually happens. And honestly, it could happen and we wouldn't even know. We really wouldn't even know. But
Is okay, I'm probably gonna sound really stupid. Is TJ Miller in that movie or am I making that up?
no, he is. Yeah, he,
Okay.
he is in the movie.
All right. I,
He's the
I
he's the comedic relief boy.
oh God.
Yeah.
Is he comedically relieving?
A little, but as much as TJ Miller can be.
Oh, so he's just annoying then.
Kinda.
I
I
was
don't
going to so I'm here to like well either way I won't say why. I won't disclose disclose my location, but I won't say my mission. But
know.
um I was gonna take Homer to a movie and I was gonna say like me and Sebastian wanted to go see 1917, but he's already seen it.
Dang.
And then I was thinking, oh, maybe Underwater, but I guess if it's not good, but I don't well yeah, maybe we'll
But
go
it's
to that.
also a decent horror movie, which I feel like is your up your alley.
Is it scary? Because I didn't think it would be from the trailers.
It's supposed to be, and there were some parts where I jumped, but just like they're just jump scares, and it wasn't more than
Oh.
there wasn't anything more than that.
We might just take him to Dave and Buster's. We'll see.
Yeah.
But okay. Well, is that it? Your
Yeah,
final
that's all.
thoughts?
That's everything I saw.
Okay. Well, I haven't been to the movies in 2 weeks, which is surprising. I know. There just hasn't been anything, which is not like January and February is really are really bad months for, especially January, but they're really boring months for movies. Um, so I'm not surprised.
I was about to
But
say February is not empty. Sonic's coming out, so
I
chill with
know I thought of that, and that's why I didn't. That's why I took that out. I
that.
don't know if I'll see Sonic, but we'll get to that later. Um,
Damn.
I've been watching a lot of shows, and I have 3 shows that I've watched, 2 movies. And the first one was I learned that Sebastian had never seen Walk the Line, which I needed to show it to him as soon as I figured that out. And I think he liked it. I loved it. I was like saying all the lines, which I know I hate when people do that, but I had to. I know every line to that movie. I know all the songs.
Walk
It's such
the
a good time.
line.
Such a good time. So I loved watching that. Um, yeah. And then so I have it on DVD. And
Hmm.
so when I first put it in, do you remember, this might be before your time, but do you remember when you would put in DVDs and they would have that like that warning about pirating movies?
Oh yeah, that's so cheesy.
Like you wouldn't steal blah blah blah. Like it was so dumb. And as soon as I put it in, Sebastian was like, "Holy shit," because we haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah.
Um, so there was that, and then I also saw Good Time, and I also was very uncomfortable the entire time, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
I it is very much like Uncut Gems, and I thought I was that would be annoying, like oh they kind of like a one trick pony thing, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I like that they know what they want to do and they'll stick with it, but they'll bring something refreshing. You know, I
Yeah.
that reminds me of the other. A24 white men directors that have been my faves lately.
Mhm.
Robert Eggers, he's kind of sticking to the period theme. Um, and then Ari Aster is kind of just making everybody uncomfortable at all times.
All right, if you
But
heard it here, Olivia thinks all these directors are one-trick ponies. You heard
well,
it
in a
here.
good way though. But I kind of like that they're not. It's kind of that whole I don't know why I thought of this, but with Parasite, where everybody's saying, "Oh, he's so good at that, he should do a Marvel movie." And he even himself is like, "Why would I do that?" And not because he couldn't do that. I think all these directors could do a Marvel film or the next Star Wars or all these other films, but like, why? If you're
Yeah.
good at something, you should stick with it. And and also, like, they could make a Marvel movie. The Safdie brothers could make a Marvel movie, but I would want them to make it in their style. I wouldn't want them to make it in any other way, you know? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to be a one-trick pony, especially if you're really good at that trick. And if you've kind of invented that trick. And you know what I mean? Like, I loved it. I also was nervous about the director being in it, but he was really good. And that I think that last scene and the way the credits rolled and that
Oh,
song, that was like the one of the most perfect endings I've seen to a movie in a very
absolutely.
long time. I watched the entire thing. I think any way that a director can make you watch the entire credits, perfection. I
Yeah.
also loved how they did it in the beginning, where the credits like never ended.
Yeah, that was
Um,
one thing Dad told me. He was like, "Man, these they don't stop." And it's like
yeah,
going on for a long time.
they use that's another thing. They use every fucking second that they can,
Hmm.
and I love it. I do I love that I can see the progression. Like I think Uncut Gems is it's a little bit better just because that was I think that was their not their first feature, but it was the first feature that got a lot of attention. But then Uncut Gems was with like better actors, not better actors, bigger actors, and I don't know. I like that you can see the progression of their craft. Robert Pattinson was so fucking good though. I already knew that year that he should have gotten nominated for something, but now I'm upset.
He's very,
Because he was
very
so
good.
fucking good in that movie. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about Good Time for too long, so let's move on. Um,
Good time
so
for a long time.
oh God, so I've watched two shows on Netflix. The first one I finished called Spinning Out. It's kind of like a teen drama on but about figure skaters. That's basically what it is. It
Uh,
was interesting. It was kind of the main character. I don't really like when I am annoyed by characters a lot. Like Good Time does it well where you hate everything he's doing, but you're kind of like for the ride. This show, I hated everything she was doing, and that just made me hate her. You know, like I don't know. You need to watch the show, but it was good though. I was interested in the story. I was never bored. A lot of the characters annoyed me though, and the choices that they made. And I'm
yeah.
watching one now that I've heard a lot about called Cheer, and it's about a cheerleading team. It's a Spinning Out is a fictional show. Like it's has like characters and actors and stuff. Cheer is a docu-series, and it's about a cheerleading team that's like one of the best in the country in Corsicana, Texas.
They're a community college, right? They're not even
Yeah,
yeah.
but they're still one of the best or one of the best collegiate teams, cheer teams. And it's really stressful because cheerleaders get hurt all the fucking time, and I hate watching people get hurt like that. But it's actually really good. I thought I wouldn't like it, but it's very entertaining. I'm rooting for all of them because they're now like making the cut to who will go to competition. So yeah, and it's real stakes. So, like it's not just oh, I want them to win, but like at the end of the day it's not real. Like this is real. So that's cool.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
like it.
nothing but good things about it.
I really like it. And I tweeted I realized that I tweeted that I wanted to start doing this thing where I put like now I see film Twitter put hashtag NW and then what they're watching, like now watching her or
Oh,
whatever. I don't know why people do that, but I was like, oh, I'll do it. And then I
I did.
realized I didn't put my like little signature, so it could have been you.
I mean, yeah, that's me.
Well, you should watch it though. But yeah, so just so people can, I guess, see what we watch a lot of things. I don't know. And
That's a
I
good
guess,
idea.
well, and they also reply in their thread as to what they think, and um, so I'm
Oh,
gonna start
maybe.
doing that just to
Yeah.
be more active, and people can see that, and maybe they'll reply and see what they think. Because I like hearing what people think about the stuff we watch. But yeah.
Oh, speaking of Twitter, our handle is Bro Sister Show. Just thought I'd put it out there.
Thank Thank you. Okay.
Yep.
And then This Is Us is back, baby.
Yes. Sorry,
And
Mom.
better than
We're gonna talk
ever.
about it.
Does she not like when we talk about This Is Us?
No, she's uh when I forgot where we were going, but we listened to it. The one of the episodes, like our podcast where we were talking about This Is Us, and she turned back to me and was like, "I'm so disappointed in you guys." She hates that show. I don't know why. It's
Why?
beautiful.
It's
It's amazing.
good. Oh my God. Whatever. Whenever I see her come, or whenever I come and I see her watching something, I'm like, this is stupid. Like she watches that High School Musical show and then she's
Oh.
judging This Is Us. How dare you, ma'am? Watch, I'm gonna get a text. That show's good. This Is Us is very good. And this season premiere is very good.
Well,
Toby's a fucking liar.
it's not a new season. It's
Oh,
just
not new season, new or mid
it's
season. Yeah.
yeah, mid season, yeah. Yeah, if you don't watch that show, you need to watch it.
And
I
you or you need to fast forward to this part because we're gonna talk about it for at least 20 minutes.
no, not 20 minutes.
No, no, no. Maybe 5. But it's just like I said, every time I get into an episode, I'm like, I feel like there's gonna be one where it's a dud where I'm like, I don't care. Or it'll be like what The Walking Dead used to do, where they would be like filler episodes until they get
Yeah,
to the season finale. But this episode shook.
they all
Absolutely shook.
hit hard.
Every storyline, yeah.
Every scene. Oh, the way they ended it, the way
Ooh.
Kevin. Do you want to just like talk about it? Like
I
talk
do,
about it,
yes, I do.
bro. When Kevin, like, I knew something was up, cause
Too
obviously,
good to be true.
yeah. And then she was just like, I can't. I thought she was like, I thought she was. Honestly, I didn't know. Like
I
until
knew
she
she
said
was
it.
married. I knew it.
I thought she was gonna say, "Oh, I just can't. It's like it's too fast, and you're too, uh, like famous for me." But no, that it's even more messed up. I wouldn't even have thought of that, which is insane.
Yeah, but I think he's a little I don't know. He's also has like work to do. I don't want to make it seem like it was all her. What she did obviously was fucked up, but for him not to see that there was something wrong, like the fact that she kept getting texts from her mom, sure, okay, I bet that would have been suspicious to me, and the fact that he didn't see that already shows to me that he doesn't really actually like, even though they knew each other for a couple of hours, he doesn't actually care about her because he didn't notice these things.
Yeah,
So I didn't feel too bad that he didn't get, the love of his life from her. And I figured it would be either his ex-wife or that girl that he slept with, that vet.
Oh my gosh, that
But
was so confusing, your
if
text. Because you said vet, and I thought you meant like the veterinarian. Like a vet. Like a vet. Not a veteran.
no, a veteran. Jesus.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I want him to be with her. I don't want him to be with his ex-wife. And that's who called him at the end of his storyline, was his
Yeah.
ex-wife. And I don't, you know what? Just like don't even call her back.
And he's going
I don't
to.
know why I don't like her. It's not that I don't like her. I just why she moved on. Isn't she like engaged to somebody else or
Yeah,
not
but
anymore?
there has to be a reason that she's calling.
I I don't know. Maybe. But we know he's going to get engaged to somebody and he's going to have a baby. So
Yeah. And
it just
Randall's, man, that storyline, insane.
that was so confusing, but I kind of like that did that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I think whenever he got home and he was saying hi to Beth, that's when because I watched it during work, and that's when I was like, okay, well, I'll just like focus solely on like doing my work. Because sometimes I'll like look down, but it's kind of a show that they talk a lot, so you just have to listen to them.
They do.
Um, and so I was like, while I was, working, and then I heard him breathing, but I thought he was having like another panic attack. But
I
then I
mean,
was like,
I'm
no,
sure he
that
is.
sounded weird. It was weird, and I was like, why would he do that? And so, like, I thought he was just waiting to say hi to Beth, go downstairs, and then have his little moment. But then, then I rewinded it, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Um, Kayla said she knew from as soon as, or she was okay. This is what she said. If I'm wrong, I'll let everyone know next week or next episode. But she said that she thought to herself like, oh, what if something happened to Beth and his kids like when he got home? Not that. So she like had an inkling that something was gonna go wrong, but she didn't know exactly that there was gonna be someone in the house trying to rob him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild. Either way, I don't know what's
I
gonna happen.
I know it feels so random, but I mean that shit like happens randomly.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more to this. There's always more to the story, but I don't think like it's somebody trying to rob him.
It could be someone, because he's a councilman. It could be one of his constituents.
Maybe, or maybe they didn't want to rob him. Maybe they wanted to hurt him, and maybe he will get hurt. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
we
They
know he
don't like
doesn't
what he's
die.
doing.
That's not
Do
a
we?
spoiler. We do because they had flash forwards with him and when he was older, with him and his daughter.
That's true. I mean, he could get hurt. One of his
That's what I mean.
the other daughters could die. We haven't seen Deja. We haven't
That's
seen
spooky.
Tessa's the older one, right?
Yeah.
The oh man, if that younger one
Oh,
dies.
ooh, no, they wouldn't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know. They could do anything.
We haven't seen Beth in the other ones too. Because they said, are
No.
you gonna go see her? But she could be in a grave.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so stressed.
bro, if Beth dies, oh my gosh, I'm so invested. And the thing
But
is,
okay,
like,
but if she dies, oh my God. I mean, I know like husbands love their wives, but he like loves her.
hmm
He would be like done.
devastated.
I don't know. God.
Maybe she just gets stabbed. Did he have a gun?
He had something in his hand, but I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like a knife.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a knife or a gun, because if he had a gun, there's no way. Because after they show like a preview, and he was like, Randall said, "You're not gonna get past me," or something like that. If he has a gun, he's gonna get past you. Like, come on, Randall.
Why would he? Ugh, I don't know. That's why it makes me think it's not a robbery because if he would say that, why would he want to go upstairs and
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to like his wife and kids? Oh my God. Or even the adopted one. Is that Deja?
yeah. That's Deja.
What is the little one?
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
Oh God, I don't know.
I could definitely see it being one of his constituents just mad at him
What did
for
he do though? He's like barely in his office.
he's an outsider. Yeah, he doesn't really do anything, does he?
Not that I've seen. Oh, I don't know. Okay, we have to move on. It's stressing me out. But we'll see. Next time we'll catch up about it.
That'll be uh oh yeah, it'll be next episode. Will come out.
I only
Yeah.
have two shows. I have cable, but I don't have DVR, so I'm like an old woman where I set alarms so that I can like
Oh my
watch the
gosh.
shows. I have two shows that I do that for, but now I have to add this one because I was gonna watch it just on Hulu the next day, but I have to watch it live now.
No, you have to watch it live.
Oh, but I can't. Okay, that's why. I was gonna watch it live last time, but I watched Schitt's Creek, and that doesn't come on a streaming service the day
Um,
after. Ugh, it's okay.
watch
I'll
them both
figure it
at the
out.
same time.
I can't. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together.
It's really funny because, uh, last word, not on the show, but while we were watching it, because we were watching it live, Kayla's never had, or she hasn't had cable since she was like 5 or in the 5th grade or whatever. And she was like, "Why are there so many commercials?" And I was like,
Oh
"This
my
is
god.
this is cable. This is just
Ugh,
get used to it. This
I
is."
hate your generation.
I know it's uh,
That is a
I'll that's a tangent for another time.
that is a very generational thing though.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll talk about it a different time. Different time.
Okay. All right. So now for our pick this week. Her, which came out in 2013. And I'll start this conversation off with just some not fun facts, but just like what is the basics of this movie. Um yeah. So Her, like I said, came out in 2013. It was directed by Spike Jonze. The principal cast is Joaquin Phoenix, who plays what's his name? Theodore Twombly,
Twombly, yeah.
which is the best last name I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Adams, which plays his friend Amy, Scarlett Johansson, which plays the OS, and Rooney Mara, which plays his ex-wife. And two of the other credited people that I wanted to give a shout out to because I was very shook that they were in this movie is that Bill Hader plays chat room friend number 2,
Yeah, I don't.
and I have to listen to it again because I have no idea. I think it's whenever he's laying down and he goes through different people. He's the second one.
But it's a girl, isn't it?
I don't know. We have to listen back to that. But so he's chat room friend number 2. That's at least what he's credited as. And Kristen Wiig is sexy kitten.
Yeah, that's so funny. I didn't even know that.
Me neither. Um, yeah. And so, this. Well, I'll go through the plot. So, just a general plot of this movie. This came from. I took this from IMDb, but I changed it. Like I edited it. I edited it down a lot. And I just changed some of the wording. So, Theodore is a lonely man in the final stages of his divorce. When he's not working as a letter writer, his downtime is spent playing video games and occasionally hanging out with friends. He decides to purchase the new OS 1, the world's first artificially intelligent operating system. Or as the commercial put it, it's not just an operating system, it's a consciousness. I can't talk. Theodore quickly finds himself drawn in with Samantha, the voice behind his OS1. As they start spending time together and they grow closer and eventually fall in love. Falling in love with an OS1, as Theodore finds out, is not an easy task. As an OS, Samantha has powerful intelligence that she uses to help Theodore in ways others hadn't. But how does she help him deal with his inner conflict of being in love with an OS? We find out. And just some quick things. The estimated budget was $23 million, which I think is like that was kind of what I thought it would be. Because it's very the way it looks and all the technology and what they had to probably do.
Yeah.
But then opening weekend I think this is US numbers, but opening weekend it made $260,000. Yeah.
I wonder if they were
260.
scared.
No, that's actually really good for just opening weekend.
Oh, okay.
And then it grows, especially for that kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we'll see whenever we start to do this more. And then I don't know until what day this gross number is, but it's grossed over $25 million. So it's made its money back and then some.
Nice. Not bad.
But yeah. And then just to give kind of what people thought about it whenever it first came out, it had an 8 out of 10 on IMDb, a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then a 90% on Metacritic.
Well, I'm not familiar with IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, but what's Metacritic?
I don't know, but I hear this a lot actually, so let me see. It aggregates music, game, TV, and movie reviews from leading critics.
Oh, okay.
So for example, Underwater has a 49%.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about
And
right.
Cats has a 32%, which seems pretty high. All right. So, yeah. So that's just an overview of the movie. So what we can tell from that, it's about an operating system. So you can kind of glean that it's going to be an expensive movie. So, and it was made its money back. So that means without seeing the critic scores, you already know it's a popular movie. People actually went to the movies to see it, which is actually two different things from being a critically acclaimed movie, because a movie can be critically acclaimed, but it doesn't mean that it's going to, get asses in seats. But this one did both. So
Yeah.
there you go. Okay, so just to go over the movie, I have notes. You said you don't, right?
No, I do not have notes. I have a quote that I really enjoy from the movie.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
it is
do you not want to do it now?
oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't. It's just I think it's when I think Samantha says this to Theodore. She says the past is just a story we tell ourselves.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I
What a
mean,
good quote.
that's like a big part of this movie,
Mhm. Yeah.
especially the before the. I really like the flashbacks, and I guess we can get to this. Well, I'll talk about this now since you brought it up. But the flashbacks kind of tell that a lot. Like if you see the ones at the beginning, whenever he's looking back at the time with his wife,
Oh,
the beginning is really sweet and they're really nice to each other and you can tell they love each other, but then once he starts to fall more in love with Samantha and he looks back at his relationship, you see the problems.
yeah. You see exactly like you it, and then there's so much beautiful with that. There's uh, I don't know. We'll move on. I'll talk about it
Okay.
later.
Well, I've took notes throughout the entire movie, so if you have thoughts, you can just jump in. And if it sparks anything. But my first one, because they start off, I think, with him at his job, I think I would have loved this job.
Yeah.
To be able to kind of look. I mean, that's kind of what writers do, just to be able to look at what. And I think too, they bring it back with that whole people watching thing, because that's kind of what this job is just people watching, and then building up a story in your mind of them and writing it
Mhm.
down. I think I would have loved that. And I think it is too. I love that they gave him this job because it's a very writer thing to be able to tell your feelings in a very beautiful way through other people and
Yeah.
not be able to tell yourself. So he can write these amazing letters for everybody under the sun, but he can't write his own letter, is what I
Yeah.
got from the beginning, which kind of comes back at the end. Um, so yeah. Oh, and this is kind of a dumb note after saying all that eloquent stuff. This is also the most I've been attracted to Joaquin Phoenix.
It's so funny because when he goes on that date with Olivia Wilde's character, she
You're a
says that
creepy dude.
yeah, you're a creepy dude. So, is that your type? Creepy dudes?
I guess, but that's another thing too. I guess we can get into that later. But I don't. He wasn't creepy. I don't understand why she was like. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it's because you
Um,
felt attracted to him.
I guess. But oh, and I also love when movies. You're supposed to do this in any movie, but when you can tell that they created a world and they knew exactly what kind of world they wanted that to be. And
Yeah.
I described this as an IKEA wet dream is the kind of world this is. It just seems very clean, even the way that everybody dresses. I really loved it and I want to live in it. Um,
Well, okay, so the person that recommended this, my good
oh
friend
yeah.
Jason, one of his questions for us, I guess he had was, and it's like relating to the entire world that this movie created, is do you think that our world is similar to the one portrayed in her?
I think, well, so this is kind of a loaded question in a good way, but I think because I think the design wise, our world is leaning more towards that.
Hmm.
You see companies that are kind of rebranding or places that are remodeling. It's very simplistic, just like this movie is. Everything is like kind of seems to be one color, or kind of it seems to be really clean, and I like that. Like I'm a very minimalist designer when I design things, and so I mean, if you just look at our Instagram, it's one fucking color, but of different shades.
Yeah.
Um, but I think our like design wise, our world is going towards that. I can't really speak on the technology because I don't know much about it, but a lot of it seems to be shaping into the. I think this movie is what our world is shaping into. I don't think it is there just yet. I also thought it was interesting that when you go on a subway or a bus, everybody's on their phone, and this one everybody's talking to their phone. So they're still being social and they're still saying things, but it's to themselves. And you would never see that on a bus. So I thought
Well,
that was interesting.
I think I think that's becoming more and more common because
Yeah.
they're talking to the little
Yeah,
earpieces,
yeah.
and
Exactly.
now wireless headphones
Which
are
is an
just
AirPod.
yeah, essentially AirPods. You got the Beats. The,
Raycon.
yeah, yeah. All those that have microphones and that you can use to just talk to people through phone, through calls, through whatever. I think the next step would be to have. I think the world in her isn't far from where we are today. I think that's
No.
pretty much what you were saying. But
Yeah.
as far as technology goes, I think it's we're progressing, and Spike Jones did a good job. I mean, it's been 7 years since that movie came out, and it's looking more and more like that every day. As far as artificial intelligence, I'm not really well versed in the topic, but I could definitely see something similar um,
Oh
in the
yeah, as
future.
soon as it comes out, you know there's gonna be people that fall in love with their fucking computers.
Yeah, I mean, I already love my computer now.
Oh God, let's move on. I'm already in a intense relationship with my Surface Pro. I do think though, I like that. I know a lot of people, the conversation around AI is really scary and people are trying to scare us about it, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's interesting that this is kind of more of a it is a cautionary tale, I think, but it's more of a whimsical one, and it kind of gives AIs a little bit more credit than kind of an ex machina would, where they're all just in for themselves and evil. Um, but I thought that was interesting. I liked it. Um, but going back to the human relationships in this movie, I feel like I like the weirdness that they show when you become intimate with somebody and you have that relationship with them, you have like weird shit that you just say to each other. And that part where she like is acting like she's choking him and tells him, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, especially I don't do that, but there's like just weird stuff that like weird jokes or just things that you say to each other that is very to everybody else looks really weird, but when I saw that I was like, oh, I can kind of see how that evolved to that.
Hmm.
And
And he
it
was just
really,
laughing.
yeah, and it felt like a that was a good way to make a couple feel real. Like it made the world feel more lived in because I
Hmm.
could kind of make that backstory of them. So that's one thing I really like, and I really love when you see not just couples but also friendships in movies where they say something to each other and there's an understanding, and the audience might not understand what that means. I could see a lot of people seeing that and being like, "Why is she saying that to him? That's very weird."
Hmm.
But it's a relationship thing where you just have like a shared language with each other.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, and then the chat scenes.
Oh my gosh.
I just kept thinking, how awkward must that be? That is, ugh, I don't know. I wonder too if they had the people in the room
Yeah, I
or
was
if they
thinking of
just
that
recorded
too.
it and played it over.
Either way, it would
Very
have been
awkward.
awkward.
I thought it was very funny though.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then and then now I'm at the part where he goes he gets the OS. So he sees the commercial and he's kind of interested in it. Um and then he gets it and I think the questions that they ask him are very interesting. Where they ask
Mhm.
him if he's antisocial or if he describes himself as social or antisocial and they ask about his relationship with his mother.
Yeah.
Those are the only two questions they ask. And then they make this operating system. So it's very interesting to me that they ask that. I wonder, my two questions were if they only ask that, or is it already smart enough to tell? Like he obviously has intimacy issues, and the
Hmm.
issues that stemmed with his wife probably came from his mom. Like he said, I think he said like, "Oh yeah, sometimes she'll ask me how I am, but she just wants to talk about herself." Uh,
Hmm.
that was an Yeah, so just the fact that they asked those two questions was like really interesting to me.
Yeah, and uh, another thing that Jason was talking about, and the reason that he recommended this was he said that he suggested this film because of the interesting relationships between the human characters and the AI partners, and that was something I was thinking about too. Is just throughout the entire thing, the entire movie, because those questions were so random and they felt obviously they asked them for a specific purpose. I wonder if by answering those questions they were able to create a piece of software that was supposed to fall in love with him, that was supposed to have a relationship with him and help him with that, because essentially they just wanted, they like are advertised it as something to help you, you know, like a piece of software and that's all applications are. It's just supposed to make your lives easier and to help you with things. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I would think that it creates a software that you need. So I don't think it automatically just creates one for you to fall in love with. I think it creates one like because he needed somebody to fall in love with. So it made that.
No, no, like the other way around. It created a software that would love him.
Mm.
It created an OS that would be there for him, that
It would
would
fill that gap.
eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Because I mean, what would have happened if he would have asked for a male voice, or if he would have said he was social,
Yeah.
or So that's it. Yeah, it kind of still brings that like choice of or that question of did they actually love each other? Because she was kind of like she's an AI, so she can do whatever she wants, but that was her purpose. And when she
Hmm.
couldn't fulfill that purpose anymore, she left. So like I don't know. It is interesting to me, but I think it did its job. Like he fell in love with her, but then like she said, I really like, we're jumping a bit, but whatever. I like at the end when she said, when he was like, well, we fell in love, and she said, well, now we know how. Like now he knows how to love somebody and to be in love and to stay that
Hmm.
way. And I really loved that line because I think that's the whole purpose. Because they're just doing what relationships do in real life, where some people are not meant to be together forever, but you learn from that person.
Yeah.
But this was just an artificial way or not artificial way. I don't know. It's very
Yeah, that's
interesting.
I think that's the part that's I'll think about for a very long time is someone could have easily, not easily, but they could have, because there was millions of people programming this operating system, they could have just simulated all of that. Like it's all just simulated emotion. And at what part does it
Yeah.
become real? Like was she real? I don't know.
Yeah. But
This is a
also,
very
but people can do that too though.
That's
People
true.
can fake shit. So that's the scary thing about That's just a scary thing about falling in love in general, is that you have to trust that whatever they're saying to you is real. And you don't know that unless they show it to you or you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that I don't know. I think it's just a little bit it's fast paced in this way because for one, she is an operating system. So at the end of the day, she does what his mother didn't do was cater to him.
Mm-hmm.
And she catered to him and she cared about him and another thing too is that what his wife didn't do was always be there for him and she was literally always there for him. So she filled all these like needs that he needed, but then if like as a person, can you imagine being with somebody that you needed to always be there for? I mean, and you do want to always be there for somebody, but physically, where every time they needed you, they'd called you, and it was that no matter like what hour of the day they had to, or you know what I mean? Like, or if they needed you to read their emails for them, and you had to do that, like that's exhausting for a person.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though she's an whoa, I can't even
Artificial
artificial.
intelligence.
I can't. That's a really hard word for me to say. Even though
Artificial
she's an AI.
intelligence. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
I can't say artificial. I keep saying it weird.
You
I'll
just
just
said
say
it.
I know, but I had to think about it. I can't
Whatever.
just say it. But I didn't even remember what I was saying. Oh, even as an AI, she's fake, right? Like that's what the word is means, but like she's still a consciousness. So she can still get exhausted by it.
Yeah.
Mentally, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know that because I don't know an AI.
Yeah.
But he was too needy. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he figured that out maybe at the end. You could kind of see him pulling away because he knew that he needed her too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I
So,
think earlier you said that like love, or like you never really know if someone loves you, and I think it was it Scarlett Johansson or Samantha or Amy that said love is uh accepted or socially accepted insanity or something like that.
oh, that's Amy Adams, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then my next one, oh, and he was back at his job, and I was thinking, I really like his job. Like, I like the idea of it, but it makes me judge the people that use it.
Yeah.
Because I personally love writing letters, and I think I would I would never, I don't know. If I found that somebody was giving me letters, like sending me letters and they were that beautiful, and then I found out that somebody else was writing them for them, that I wouldn't like that. That would kind of hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Because then you're it kind of takes away the oh, what's the word?
Personal element.
Yeah, like you just paid someone to do it.
And somebody is, it's not a computer, but it's still somebody that doesn't, it's kind of like he's like a Samantha to somebody else. Like he's, well, not really, but he's giving these I think he's giving these messages that he really believes in, but he doesn't know these people.
Yeah. It's it'd be weird to find that out that someone else has because all those letters are pretty intimate and
Yeah.
shared really like the minute details of relationships, and I'd be super offended if someone else was let in on that, you know?
Yeah. And
Just
also
me,
as a writer, I would be furious that I couldn't write that well.
yeah. I wonder if that's how like someone got caught. Like you have never written like this before. I
Probably.
know how you write. This is not it.
Um oh yeah. And then one of my favorite parts is whenever he's playing that game and that little guy comes and he's like cussing at him.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was the voice of the director.
yeah, it was
And I was thinking too, if I made a movie like this, I would 100% want to be that voice.
right in, right in the character just for you to.
Yes, just to cuss and yell at him and I
Yeah.
too my favorite part though was when he was looking at pictures of when Olivia Wilde was there and he's
Oh,
like it was his date and he was like, "She's fat."
Yeah.
Oh, and then the next part is when he goes to Amy Adams' like apartment, and I don't know if I guess it's her husband. Okay, so all the men, their pants are so high, but his are up to his fucking nipples, dude. His are
They are.
so high. It bothered me.
Oh,
And
oh my gosh.
I
That's so
also loved when they sh when she showed their documentary.
You're just like,
They're like, is she gonna wake up at some point or and I said that that part when she shows the documentary and they're just staring like what is going on, that's gonna be me at South by.
you're the only one who doesn't get the movie. You're like,
You know,
I...
everybody's like crying and I'm like, what? Speaking of South by real quick. A so oh wait, did I talk about the schedule being out last time? No, it
No.
came out this week. I could talk about it later. But well, all I'll say is the schedule came out and there is one documentary that I put on my favorites where it's about a um it's about a race, but it's only electric cars,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
I know, but it doesn't sound like something I'd be into, but one of the producers is Leonardo DiCaprio, and if I have a
Um,
chance to be in the room with him, I'm gonna watch that documentary, even though I'll be probably bored as hell. But yeah, okay. Um, oh, and then they had other flashbacks. I also loved that some of them didn't have any sound, that it was just music.
bro, that was my favorite part of the movie.
I know, and I usually hate flashbacks. I think they're so cheap and I just hate them. But these are so good.
And that is the most perfect way, I think, to show a flashback, but because when you think of a memory, you don't have Hans Zimmer directing or composing music for your memories. It's
Yeah.
just nothing, and you just remember. I don't know. It was just if I felt that, bro. I felt that.
It captures the feeling though, because I think a lot of memories are not really they're images and stuff, but it's mostly feelings,
Yeah.
and the music captures that really well.
Hmm. Man,
Um,
that the
another pet
music,
peeve. Oh, sorry.
mm, the music is beautiful. Can we get into that?
Yes,
Will you
that's on
say your pet peeve,
my
and then we'll.
yeah. Okay, that's my next note. But so, well, yeah, another movie pet peeve that I have is I hate when they do people watching because they never do it right.
Uh,
But this one I actually really liked a lot. Um, I just thought he was really spot on with, and it makes sense. Like I said, his job is basically people watching,
mm,
and it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't like annoying. I really
and
liked it.
the little safety pin that he put in his shirt
Oh
to let
yeah,
her
the
see.
details.
Oh man.
And oh, and my next note was asking what your thoughts were on the music because I remember Sebastian loving it.
Well, I'll get to Jason's thoughts. Um, so he really liked the color, which we'll talk about in a little, but
Oh yeah.
he really liked. Oh, let me bring it up. I had it, but where'd it go? The music. He said that he loved that about the film was the sound. The music played, or the music that was played to emphasize certain emotions, only to fade away to be abruptly cut into silence, which happens. I think a majority of that happens uh, whenever the flashbacks do happen, especially when he's signing the divorce papers when they meet up and they're signing the divorce papers,
Hmm.
and there's music playing, and it just cuts whenever he sees her about to sign, and then it cuts to um, them arguing or not arguing, but like them at the early stages of the relationship, or what you can imagine them to be uh, in their first couple of like the honeymoon phase of their relationship.
Hmm.
The music, I am very, very sad it's not on Spotify, but I have
Is it
already,
not?
no, not all of it. Some of like one of the best songs the moon song that they play when they are on their little vacation
Yeah.
uh, on the ukulele, that's on Spotify. But the best piece of music that I've heard in a very, very long time is the photograph song. It's
Yeah.
whenever she says something like, "We don't have any pictures together," because obviously she's an AI, but she says that song is like their photograph because it captures where they were in their relationship at that time in their lives. And
Yeah.
that piece is, I can't recommend you guys listening to it enough. It's on YouTube. Just look it up.
I also like the
Uh,
beach one.
the beach one's really good, and uh, all the score I think was composed by Arcade Fire, which is
Really
wild. Yeah.
interesting.
hmm I think I could be wrong, but I know that they definitely had a song in there, but I think they composed like those piano pieces.
Hmm.
Please let us know if I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know. Um, oh, and talking about the signing of the divorce papers, I feel like that was a big shift for him
hmm
because I noticed this time when I watched that whenever she was signing, she paused and he kind of like it looked like he was hoping she would change her mind.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like he
thinking.
made a face, and then that's when I was like, oh, I think now he realized that Samantha girl isn't it.
Yeah, and I
And
think that definitely hit him after, and he was just
yeah.
kind of aloof.
Well, and the one thing too is that what I noticed right after that is I reflected on the flashbacks, and him and his wife were super affectionate in a
Yeah.
very like they were really handsy. So they would always like be touching each other. They were just really every time they would show a flashback, they were always like hugging each other or holding hands or something. And he I think he needs that. And
Yeah.
obviously Samantha can't give him that.
She
Uh
tried.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was weird.
Yeah, I understand the intent of, having somebody like come in and be a surrogate for that, but that's really weird.
Yeah.
I see why he was like uncomfortable because I was uncomfortable.
hmm
And another note, which I really hate that I made, but I have to say it. Her walked so Jexy could run. Do you remember that
Oh,
movie?
you did not. You did not. The Adam Devine one? Oh my gosh.
I had
That
to.
that's where she went. That's where Samantha left. She went to
Oh
go
my God.
mess up Adam Devine's life.
Oh man, he's making some choices that I do not understand.
Man.
Um, oh, and then I love every scene with Amy Adams' character. I loved it. She is the perfect if you want to show somebody how to be a friend, you need to just show that movie and the scenes that she's in.
Oh yeah.
Because she never yeah, and she never judges him. And even Chris Pratt's character too. The
Oh,
fact that
he's
they
so
all went
funny.
on a date, I forgot he was in this movie.
Me
And
too.
the fact that they went on a date with her and they never were like weird about any I just loved it. Everybody was so I'm thinking maybe that it was like more of a once those OSs came out, it was more common that that would happen. Or
Oh
maybe they
yeah.
had one themselves, so they were like, "Oh, I guess I can see how you could fall in love with one." But I just thought that everybody in the movie was just so nice. And
Yeah.
Amy Adams was, like I said, she was the perfect friend. She let him nap while she was working, and I don't know, never once did she be like, "Well, you're falling in love with the computer, right? This can't last." She was just always there for him.
Yeah. And my favorite part, or like two of my favorite parts, is when uh Chris Pratt is like introducing his girlfriend, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we should go on a double date sometime." And then you can tell Joaquin or Theodore is uh, like he's like, "Oh shit." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh well, Samantha's an OS," and then Chris Pratt's like, oh, okay, cool. So maybe we can go. Like he just not even bothered. So
Doesn't miss
fun.
a beat. Yeah.
Yeah. And same thing for like you can tell that there were not so much for Chris Pratt, but you could tell Amy was a little bit like that's okay, okay, but she was still, like you said, a really good friend. But something I
And
know.
even when he wasn't, like, I mean, not to say that he didn't have much of a reaction to a documentary, but he could have been a little bit more supportive.
Yeah, he
He could have
left
been
so
like,
fast.
yeah, but I don't know. That was more of a thing with her husband, though. He was kind of an asshole,
Oh,
but
that Photoshop picture of him being a monk.
so bad. Oh, so bad. I
Ugh.
forgot about that. Oh, and then this is for my well, I can't say succession. My succession hive. Logan Roy was in this. He was
He was a philosopher.
I don't know no, I don't know the actor's name, but he do you remember whenever she was like, "Do you want to talk to my friend?" and there was like some man
Yeah, yeah, it was a
OS?
philosopher, like an old
Yes.
philosopher.
Logan Roy himself.
He had a cool voice.
Such a good voice.
Yeah.
I recognized him as I heard. Oh, and then now we're going to the part wherever he realizes that she's talking to other people. And then I said, "What a whore." He asked if how many people she's fallen in love with. She said 641. A bitch was busy.
She was
641 people. Girl, that's a
well,
lot.
it is. But that okay, so that brings up Jason's last question is how much of an impact can almost human AI have on how we define relationships?
Ooh.
Perfect segue, by the way. Just want to put that out there.
Hmm. I feel like that is such a crushing thought, though, to think that I think the biggest thing is that there's no, you can't feel unique or you can't feel like, you know what I mean? Like whenever you do fall in love with a human person, like I'm the only person, well, for the most part, like I'm the only person they're in love with. Like this is our relationship that we have right now is unique to us.
Mm-hmm.
And to find out that that's not the case, and not only is that not the case, but it's 641 other people are experiencing that same thing. And maybe those relationships are different, but I still understand. And she was trying to say that. I think she was trying to say like, well, they're not like you, but like you can't, that's not believable. I
Yeah.
can't, I couldn't fathom that. And I think that's the thing is that AIs can do so much that our minds can't fathom. I can't fathom falling in love with 600 people and being in a relationship with them at once. And so I think that's where the buck stops, like you can't do that as a person.
I mean, do you
I
think we'll get
understand,
to a
sorry, go on.
you go.
I just understand being like I know humans are able to be in love with more than one person at one time, but 600, like that's a little much. But what are you saying?
Uh, do you think we'll ever get to a point where AIs are as common as they were in her, and we'll get to that point where do you think her will happen?
Maybe. I think I do see like stuff like Google Homes and Alexas. I do see them becoming more intelligent, kind of like how I see it is how like Tony Stark used Jarvis. More like that.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I see people falling in love with that, but I don't see it working as like being able to work out.
Yeah,
I
it'll
see that happening though. People fall in love with like cars. So like you can if people fall in love with anything.
yeah. Definitely a movie to make you think. Like I'll think about this movie for a long time.
Yeah.
And this movie, as I was watching it, it just felt it just had that aspect of like this movie could have been released yesterday. It could have been released 10 years ago, and it's still so relevant.
Oh yeah, it's timeless.
Yeah.
And
Good
so,
movie.
as we reach the end, my last two notes are, well, for one, I was very happy that he finally wrote his letter.
What a good letter.
Very good, very short. Just said what he needed to say. Loved it. And then my last note is I love the last shot. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's where they're sitting on the
On the
roof, right? And
roof,
then
yeah.
Amy rests her head on his shoulder and then cut to black.
Yeah, because you can tell that's the start of something.
Yeah.
Whether it's just their friendship like blossoming or if they do fall in love, either way, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I'll bring up is because I want to talk about everything Jason had to say.
Yeah.
And the last, he said that one characteristic that stood out for him was the color within the film. The world is shown as
Mhm.
gray and gloomy, but Theodore wears red and bright colors that stand out. Along with the seemingly unnatural and artificial light, each scene is unique and presents a viewer with a mood.
Yeah. Well, they have no, this is one of the movies where there's no excuse to not know what's happening. Like the music, the color, everything is gives you a cue as to how you should be feeling.
Yeah. I I don't know if this was just me trying to make stuff up, but I remember Theodore wore pretty much read the entire film, except for when Samantha left. I think he wore yellow and like more pale colors after
Oh, maybe.
after she left. Might have
Yeah,
been
I have to look back at that. I don't know.
might have been because that company OS1 or something was red. Like that was their. Ooh, maybe that did happen. I don't know. Like their company, like their logo was all red and white. I don't know, but this movie it's a very distinct aesthetic, and I don't think I've maybe a few that look like this movie. I can't think of any on the top of my head, but very
Yeah.
timeless and unique movie.
Yeah.
A good pick, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we can end out with some fun facts.
Oh yeah.
The first one that was very interesting to me is that an actress named Samantha Morton was originally the voice of Samantha, and she was even present on the set with Joaquin Phoenix every day, like reading the lines.
Hmm.
But after the filming wrapped and Spike Jonze started editing the movie, he felt something wasn't right. And then with Samantha Morton's blessing, he decided to recast the role, and Scarlett Johansson was brought on to replace her and re-recorded the dialogue.
Kind of messed up.
I mean, as long as he spoke with, it says with Samantha Morton's blessing, and I mean, I'm assuming she's still got that paycheck, so
Yeah.
whatever. I do think it's for all the feelings I have about Scarlett Johansson, I think she was good in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I liked
She
her
fit
voice a
well.
lot in it.
Fit
Um,
well.
Next one is that no one is seen wearing a belt at any point during the film.
Hmm. Yeah,
Loved that.
his. I really like their outfits.
Yeah, I want those pants
Yeah,
that go
they
up to your nipples.
that Kylo Ren style.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then the last one is it's the only Best Picture nominee that year to not be nominated for any of the acting categories,
I get
which
that.
perfectly segues into our next point or segment. Well, actually, do you have any last thoughts about her?
Her, I need to watch every like 3 years because that movie will stick with me for a long time, and the music is one of the best. It fits so well. That's it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm segueing into that is because I think there is one of those in this. Oh yeah, so Parasite is also nominated for Best Picture and has no acting awards or
Oh wow.
nominees. And that doesn't happen a lot. I think also Ford v Ferrari. I might be wrong. Yeah, that one is nominated for Best Picture, and they don't have any acting
Nominees.
nominations. All right, so I thought so. We're gonna talk about the last half of this pod. We're gonna talk about the Oscars. And first things first,
I'm the
disappointing.
realist. Yeah.
The Oscars are not the realist because what is going on? I like okay. And I said this last time. I'm always going to be mad. I'm going to stay mad and because they never know what to nominate and they never do it right. Because I just I mean, there's some ones that I'm like, okay, I'm glad they didn't get a nomination, but I just don't understand how the you're supposed to be basically the spokesperson for or the spokespeople for Hollywood. You're supposed to have taste. But every time I see these nominations, it does the last thing it screams to me is taste. These people have no taste. How? How do you nominate Once Upon a Time in how is Joker the number one nominated movie of this year? Are you kidding me?
It definitely should not have been.
It was good, but it wasn't that good, guys. Come on.
I don't think
Ugh.
it was Oscar. Definitely not Best Picture. Best
No.
Picture, I don't think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood should have been there. I don't think Joker should have been there. I really don't.
Because it's not the best picture. I mean, the only good thing in that movie is Joaquin Phoenix. That's it.
Yeah, I feel like Best Picture overall, like everything has to add up to give it that oomph, that Best Picture. It just doesn't do it.
No,
Not for
not at
me.
all. Honestly, I only like one of the movies that's on here.
Which,
I think the rest of them, I'm like, they were like okay. The only one that is truly best picture to me is Parasite. Every part of that movie worked for me. That is a
Parasite's
best picture.
fantastic.
But whatever.
Jojo Rabbit for me, Best Picture. Marriage Story, I don't think
Eh.
so. Honestly, just those two. Maybe 1917.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't seen some of them. I liked Ford v Ferrari, but why is it there?
Yeah.
Marriage Story is okay. Little Women, it's okay. Jojo Rabbit, it's fine. I don't know. It just every movie's like okay to me.
Marriage Story, but only the part where. Oh wait, I was gonna spoil it. Never mind.
Okay. So I thought, I mean, unless you still want to talk about like certain categories, either way, my reaction's always gonna be the same as just disappointed. But I figured we could go through the list. I have Rolling Stone has 12 biggest snubs from the 2020 nominations. So I figured we could go through the list, go through each one, and then we can say if we thought that is actually a snub, like if they were kind of shut out of the awards for no reason, or if it's just people being dramatic and
Yeah.
just wanting like empty representation. So, do you have any like thoughts about the nominations themselves that you wanted to say, or did you just want to move to the snubs?
Other than Best Picture, not really. Um, I'm glad Lighthouse got nominated for uh, what was it? Best Cinematography. That feels appropriate.
Yeah, I was really excited about that.
That's all I have to say about those nominations.
Also, okay, one I do have to say one thing. Because people are one of the things that happens every year is that people from different camps say like, well, it's all white people. There's no like whatever. I keep seeing people saying, well, Antonio Banderas is nominated. He is European. That's all I got to say. All right. Stop telling Latinos to be quiet. He is not. He's European. All right, let's go on. Um, so the first one is Best Director. People think Greta Gerwig for Little Women was snubbed.
mm,
I think personally. If I do agree that they shut out a lot of women, that it should have not been all men, not because it just shouldn't be all men. I think that there were women that did way better jobs at directing, but I guess my controversial take this year is that Greta Gerwig is not one of them. I think Lulu Wang for The Farewell should have totally been in there, and Laureen Scafaria from Hustlers. I think Little Women is just okay, and the fact that she's getting nominated for all these, or people are saying, oh, she's like should have been nominated, blah, blah, blah. Like it was fine.
Um, I don't know. I don't think I should be talking about this,
You
but
can don't do that whole this movie wasn't made for me. It was made for everybody.
well,
What's your
no.
opinion?
Here's the thing. I don't really care. But also, I could see. I just don't feel like this movie is. Uh, I don't know. I didn't really feel anything
It's not
about it.
Academy. It's not Academy level.
I can agree with that. I feel like definitely The Farewell should have been. That's a good movie. I don't know. I think I agree with what you're saying. Oh, sorry.
I don't. It's just if you think she was snubbed, like you think she should have been nominated or not. I personally didn't care that she wasn't nominated.
For this movie, I don't think so. No, maybe a different one that she's directed. I could see Lady Bird, but for this one, no.
She could take Todd Phillips' spot though.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could replace, I'd replace
Well, that's what I mean. If
those.
the bar already for the director nominees are mediocrity, so like yeah, that was a mediocre movie, so put her in there.
Yeah.
But okay, so the next one is I think is the most egregious snub that has happened this year. For Best Actress, Lupita Nyong'o for Us.
Oh, for sure. That's a crime against humanity. It's a crime against everyone. She did so well, and to not even be recognized for it, that's a shame. That's a damn shame.
And people were saying, I kept seeing this tweet where people were like, well, in the same year, Florence Pugh did Little Women and Midsummer.
Oh my
And
gosh.
somebody was like, Lupita did it in the same fucking movie. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, I mean, and plus she has an Oscar already, so just nominate her again. I don't understand why. Well, I do understand, but this whole the genre films not being recognized is getting tired. Like let's just like why not? Ugh. All right. So best supporting actress, Jennifer Lopez for Hustlers.
I didn't see Hustlers, so I don't know.
Oh, for me, I think she was good in it. I would have loved for her to get a nomination, but yeah, but she's the wrong color for that. Um, the farewell for anything is what they're saying.
Oh, really? Yeah, for sure.
At least writing, at the very least,
That movie?
or for Nene, Nai. Nai.
She's so funny.
Oh, she was so fucking good in that movie. I think she was the best. I mean, Aquafina was good, but she was fucking amazing.
That movie, it feels so real. I mean, it is, but it to the fact that it wasn't nominated for anything is just
Annoying.
yeah. Like I felt more compelled by this story than obvious. Okay, I say this, but like Joker, we should replace Farewell or Joker with Farewell. Like I didn't feel as much compelled by the story, and I get
Oh,
that it's like, and the fact that I just didn't think about it after. I didn't think about Joker after, but I thought about
yeah,
Farewell after.
exactly.
I saw Farewell, and I'm just not exposed to that culture, and it was a good movie to expose people who wouldn't know. It's just a different way of life, and I don't know.
And it's also still, even though it's a different culture, it's still you can relate to everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And even if you can't, you don't have to relate to a movie to like it.
Hmm.
Okay, next one, which I think you'll have some thoughts. For Best Actor, Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems.
Oh my goodness.
The fact
Yes,
that Uncut Gems didn't get anything.
I'm tired of people dogging on the Sandman. This is for you, Kayla. Adam Sandler is a good actor, okay?
Oh wait, what did she say?
She doesn't like Adam Sandler.
Oh my
She
God.
says that he does the same thing in every movie.
Oh
I'd like
my
to
God.
present you Little Nicky. I'd like to present you Wedding Singer,
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
Okay,
Gilmore.
I will say Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, kind of the same movie.
Okay, yes, but he has range,
He does. He definitely does.
and he's a funny dude. And in this movie, he was the best actor.
He
And
definitely was.
he deserves it so much. And it doesn't matter. Who else was nominated for best actor? I don't even know.
Um, let's.
Because I
Mm,
feel like for best actor, you need to be the
oh,
most
okay.
compelling character.
Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes, Joaquin
Didn't see it.
Phoenix in Joker, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Antonio Banderas in Plain and Glory.
Okay, I haven't seen the other. Was it in Plain and Glory? Is it you said?
Yeah,
And
Plain and
Two
Glory.
Popes.
I have heard that Antonio Banderas is really good in it.
Why can't they just add Adam Sandler to that list? Why do we have to replace people? I don't want to replace anyone from that list because I haven't seen the ones I haven't seen. I don't know, and the ones I have seen, I think they're really good. So why can't
Yeah,
we just add to that?
I
I'd
think it has to
rather.
be five.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm not mad that Joaquin Phoenix is there.
No,
I'm
he was
mad that he
good.
might win. I'm mad that he might win an Oscar for this movie. Um, but yeah, the fact that Adam Sandler, well, and that's the thing too, is that it's like people like Kayla. No, I'm kidding. Well, and
Yeah.
people don't take them seriously, and that's what sucks is that I don't think he'll be discouraged in it, but I just don't want him to be like discouraged and branching out like that. He
Oh no.
won't, but he did such a good job in that movie, and he wasn't annoying about it. Like he wasn't, not that Joaquin Phoenix is being annoying about it, but like people are making it seem like he transformed and like did all these other shit. Like that he like did amazing things, but like he didn't go outside of his comfort zone that much
Mhm.
because he's known for doing roles like this. But Joaquin Phoenix, but Adam Sandler, he did something with this movie. And like not just him, but like I said, anything for Uncut Gems. Like the fact that like the the kind of environment that they had to direct in and that they were able to still make this movie is insane to me. That's directing. Okay, moving on. Um, so the next one is the ensemble for Parasite, which I don't know if you've seen what I put on our story, but I keep sharing stuff from Parasite.
Yeah, I've
And I
seen.
put this is just gonna become a Parasite stan account because I fucking love Parasite. And the fact that not even the dad got anything is so annoying to me.
Yeah.
That entire cast, there was no weak spot in that entire cast, not even the kid.
Oh yeah, not even him.
I'm so annoyed. The stress from the Oscars are gonna take away like 2 years from my life. Um, oh, I haven't seen this, but for Best Actor, Robert De Niro for The Irishman, he didn't get nominated. Oh, Al Pacino and Joe Pesci did.
For best supporting, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
I
who
don't know.
cares?
I haven't seen The Irishman.
Who cares? Dolomite is my name for anything. I also haven't seen this, but mom said it's very good. And I was expecting, and I think everybody's expecting at least Eddie Murphy to get something.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so.
Me neither. I just wanted to shout that out. Oh, and this one made me mad. Best actor, Taron Egerton for Rocket Man. No, ma'am. No. He's not.
Well,
He's staying home.
no. I think this article it says it just because Rami Malek got it for his
I don't care.
impersonation.
We don't do that shit though. But we only do that for white people is what I'm saying. And I don't want to like bring this whole thing, but like that doesn't that the fact that just because Rami Malek got it doesn't mean everybody else that plays a famous singer should get it. Just because Leonardo DiCaprio got a career Oscar doesn't mean Joaquin Phoenix should. Do you know what I mean? Like if anybody's getting career shit, it should be Jennifer Lopez or it should be, like we're picking and choosing who can do this shit. So just to be like, oh, Taron Egerton can have it. No.
Toss him a bone.
Yeah, why? He doesn't need anything. Ugh. Oh, best documentary, Apollo 11. Have not seen it. I also have not seen any of the documentary ones.
Oh yeah, I don't watch documentaries that often.
I do, but I haven't seen any of them. Best animated feature film, Frozen 2.
I haven't seen Frozen 2.
This isn't so much a snub on an artistic level as it is a shock. All right, move on. Best original song, Spirit from The Lion King.
I don't even know that song.
Me neither. Well, that was it. I haven't either. I think maybe that was the part that I didn't see.
Oh.
And I've yet to finish it, so.
Oh, that's right. You got kicked out.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Another thing too that people were mad about, or not mad about, but people noticed is that so Cats had a original song. I think it was written by Taylor Swift, I think.
Yeah.
And that got a Golden Globe nomination but didn't get an Oscars one. That snub I can stand behind.
Would you call that a snub?
No. Nothing from that Cats movie should ever be nominated for anything. Ever.
I still haven't seen it and I will not.
Please watch it.
No.
I mean, it's an experience. I was talking about this at dinner the other day. It's
not an experience
truly...
I want to have.
I think you do, though.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So, is there any other snubs that you would like to shout out?
Other than Adam Sandler, no.
Okay, I have some.
Or I can't think of any. I don't really know the.
Well, I think Midsummer should have had something.
Oh, okay.
At least for... Well, also, I'm going to pretend that Florence Pugh's nomination is for Midsummer. But I think they didn't put her... I think because... So she's nominated for Little Women, but they put her in the supporting actress. And I think it's one of those things, because it is a very political award show, where they wanted to nominate her, but they did it for that. And if they would have nominated her for Midsummer, not to say they would have, but she would have been lead actress.
Yeah.
But I think her performance in Midsummer is one of the best of the year as well. And also writing for that movie, directing, editing, like I feel like maybe not editing, but that movie.
No, for sure editing. Like the
sound mixing or editing.
Or does visual effects fall under editing?
I think visual effects has its own.
Oh, well, visual effects, Midsummer for sure.
Also, costume and set design.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that it didn't get costume or set design, they built an entire fucking village.
Upsetting.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll end this with just me just shouting about the Oscars. But like I said, it's just disappointing. What the good thing that I have to remind myself about every year, though, is that people do make those lists of the snubs and people do give support to the people that they wanted to get nominated. And then the conversation, like the fact that people are talking about the farewell, even though people are talking about how angry they are about it, that it didn't get nominated, at least people are talking about it, It's in the conversation. And bringing light to the movies that were underseen, so that people can go see it and be more interested in like, oh, well, maybe I should see this movie because people are making such a big fuss about it.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of the thing that makes me a little bit happy. But yeah, all this complaining though, I'm fucking fake because I'm gonna watch the Oscars.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I just watch the movies I like. I don't care.
Yeah, I think the thing that annoys me is even though awards are stupid and I understand that, it annoys me that people think that they can call themselves the Hollywood foreign press or whatever the Academy or just any of them, any of these voting parties think that they can distinguish themselves as like the the end all be all of taste in Hollywood, but they still get it wrong. They get it not only wrong, but they get it this wrong. That's what annoys me,
Yeah.
is that we're awarding films and actors and people that don't really deserve it because it's like one of those, like, it's a politics thing, and it's a thing that kind of reflects in just our world in general, is if you have the money for it, then you can win it, that you can just buy things. That's the thing that annoys me, is that it speaks to a larger problem. And I know at the end of the day it sounds like such a petty thing to be mad about,
Mm-hmm.
but all these things that people are trying to bring up about representation, these matter. And no matter how we talk about it, as long as we're talking about it, I feel like we're still in a good place.
It's true.
It sounds stupid for me to be so upset that Jennifer Lopez is not nominated for something. But once you grow up in a world that doesn't show you in any form of media, and then you finally see it, and then it doesn't get recognized for the greatness that it is, and then just other people that are could just do something that's mediocre and still get it. Just I think that also reflects in life as a minority in general, is that you have to kind of just do things. You don't have to just be amazing, you have to be the best, or you
Mm-hmm.
just won't be recognized at all. It just reflects that feeling, and I think that's why people are so upset. At least that's why I'm upset, because I recognize that feeling, and so it just,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, you can cut that down a lot. I just talked for
No,
like
no,
so
no.
long.
It's fine. I'll leave it in. Leave it all in.
But I don't know. That just want to explain why, because I know it sounds stupid, but there's a
No,
method to my madness.
I get that. But then we also have LZ Fisher putting up her own
Oh
nominations for
yeah,
her.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And there's also the Independent Spirit Awards. There's other awards that I look to that are better at recognizing talent and recognizing who actually is the best in their field. So it's okay. It's not all going to shit. Well, how do you feel, to get a little bit lighter, how do you feel about the Oscars not having a host?
Uh.
People are
Uh.
upset, but I don't mind it.
I don't really care if it makes it shorter. Go for it.
Yeah.
I. I don't know. I think they don't need one. They really don't.
Do you not watch awards in general?
Not really. Not. I don't have a place to watch them.
Oh,
So, if I did, I probably, or if I had, yeah, if I had a place to watch it, I probably would. But honestly, I don't really care. Oh, it's weird because yeah, these people get snubbed, but I appreciate their movies, and it doesn't it does bother me to a certain extent that they're not getting recognized. Like it'll bother me for the longest time that Adam Sandler hasn't been nominated, but I feel like he should have been, so that's enough for me.
yeah. It'll have to be enough for me, I guess.
Yeah. And that's that on that.
All right.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I forgot I had to pick a movie.
Oh, I forgot we did that.
Yeah, me too. I forgot. I just picked one as the episode went on, but
Okay.
I'm excited with this one. Are you ready?
Is it one that's been requested, or you just picked it on your own?
This one I just picked on my own.
Okay.
These last two have been. I want to pick movies that I just want to watch either again or for the first time, or that will force me to watch them. So this is on Hulu. And it's Booksmart.
Oh, okay.
There's some stuff I want to talk about. The whole like airplane thing that happened where they cut out some scenes.
It was also a snub.
Yeah. So I
All right.
guess some snubs. Good movie. It's on Hulu. Watch it for next time. Yeah. If you have any
Alrighty.
questions, comments, and or concerns, you can hit us out on our Instagram, Brother Sister Show, or our Twitter, Bro Sis Show. Brother Sister Show on Instagram, Bro Sister Show on Twitter.
And I'm going to be so we want to ask people more like for their suggestions more because I really like how we did it this time where your friend um where you can suggest a movie but we also have your input because I really want to hear why people wanted us to watch a certain movie and what questions they wanted us to discuss. So I'm going to be doing that again probably after we release this episode, but just be on the lookout on Instagram. And then if we choose your movie and it's on a streaming service and we can watch it, then we will be asking you for your input. Um, yeah, and giving you a little shout out.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for picking this movie. I'm really glad I was forced to watch it again.
Yeah, I think this is only the second time I've seen it.
Yeah, me too. Beautiful music,
So I'm glad.
beautiful everything. Fantastic movie. Thank you again.
I, though, have seen Booksmart maybe 3 times.
Oh, really? I've only
Yeah,
seen it in theater.
I saw it twice in theater.
Dang. Uh,
Alrighty. I'm excited. I have a lot to say about that movie too.
yeah, I wanted to pick a good one, a juicy boy.
Alrighty.
Thank you for listening, guys. Bye.